Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to start with the second lesson, clauses and phrases of grammar. Let us begin with the first exercise, get set. Make sentences with the groups of words. On a cold and frosty morning. Now here what you will make sentences using these words in your sentence. So the first group of word is on a cold and frosty morning. You can write, on a cold and frosty morning we went for a morning walk. Second one, as quickly as possible. Teacher told us to finish our work as quickly as possible. Across the street. My aunt's home is across the street. Inside a deep well. The cat fell inside a deep well. Among the branches. This branch is the strongest among the branches. Until the next time. Students will have to wait until the next time for further information. Let us move to the next exercise. Let us learn. Read the groups of words and tick those that have a verb. Cross out the others. Now here I hope that students you know what is a verb. Verb is an action word in a sentence or a clause. So let us see whether we find the verb. Before the next flight. I cannot see any verb in this group of words. In a dark and dirty lane. No verb over here too in the second sentence. The machine is working now. Now here working is a verb. Jumping up and down. So here again jumping is a verb. Father turned into the side lane. So turned is a verb. It shows us some action. You play the piano very well. Play. Play is a verb over here again. Let us read the box now. Note that the groups of words you just crossed out above do not have any subject or verb. They are phrases. A phrase is a group of two or more words without a finite verb. It is a part of a sentence and hence cannot stand on its own. So we have seen the explanation, students, about what is a phrase. So here we have read the definition. Now here examples are at the stadium, in the city, of great courage, under a tree. These are the phrases which are just groups of words but lack the verb in it, and hence these are called as the phrases. Now note that each group of words you just ticked in the activity above has a verb and a subject. They are clauses. So clause is a group of words that has a finite verb and a subject of its own and makes some sense. So the examples are, the machine is working now. It is a clause. Father turned into the side lane. You play the piano very well. So simply put, both are the group of words. In the phrases there is no verb, but in the clause there is a subject plus verb combination, and so a clause can stand on its own. It means it can have its own meaning, complete meaning. Coming on to the next page. A finite verb shows the tense. It changes its form according to the number and the person of the subject. So what is a finite verb? Every sentence needs a finite verb for forming a complete meaning. So here examples are given. A clown entertains people. So here entertain is our finite verb which can change its form as per the tense. So it also tells us the sentence is in which tense. So here entertains means it is a present tense, and clowns entertain people. So here it is changing its form, and this type of verbs are called as finite verb. There are also non-finite verbs which are having again three types in it, but we are not going to cover it here. Next, what is the difference between sentence and a clause? So a sentence is a complete meaningful unit by itself. When we call some set of words as a sentence, then there is a complete meaning to it. On the contrary, a clause may or may not be a complete meaningful unit by itself. In a clause, sometimes when it is a main clause, then we can take out some meaning from it or a complete meaning from it. But when it is a subordinate clause, then it may not give us complete meaning. A sentence must contain a finite verb. So it is a compulsion that in a sentence there must be a finite verb. And on the contrary, a clause have a finite verb. So it has it, but there is no compulsion. A sentence can have more than one clause. So in a sentence there can be more than one clauses, and clause is a part of sentence. So these are the important differences in sentence and clause. Do write it in your notebook and remember it properly. Next exercise, let us practice. State whether each group of words is a phrase or a clause. Now here, he goes to church every Sunday. It is a clause, as we can take out complete meaning out of it. Like the flowing river. This is a phrase because there is no complete meaning to it. After a sumptuous dinner. Again, this is a phrase. A beautiful leather bag. A phrase. One should not play with fire. This is a clause, as we can take out complete meaning from it. The misery of the people. This is a phrase. The plane was hijacked yesterday. This is a clause, as we can make out sense from it. We can take out a meaning from it. Coming to the box, some clauses make complete sense and can stand independently as a sentence. Such clauses are known as independent or principal clauses, or those are also called as main clauses. Okay, examples: mother baked a delicious cake. So here mother baked is a principal or independent clause. The school is celebrating the annual day. Here the school is celebrating is a independent or principal clause or the main clause. There are some clauses that have a distinct subject and a verb yet cannot stand independently as sentences. These clauses have to depend on dependent or subordinate clauses. So such clauses are called as dependent or subordinate clauses. So as I have explained this earlier, we will move ahead. Examples: when she was young, because Tom played pranks in the class. So these are what? These are the subordinate clauses which are highlighted in blue. Coming to the exercise B. State whether the group of words underlined in each sentence is a dependent clause or an independent clause. So simply 10 sentences are given, and all the sentences are having some part which is underlined. So we have to read that part, and if that part makes a complete sense to it, then it is an independent clause. But if the meaning is half, or we cannot make out a complete sense from that underlined part, then it is an dependent clause. So let us begin. David met Rohan, who was carrying a bat in the playground. First one is already done for us. So when we read only the underlined part, that is who was carrying a bat in the playground, then we cannot make out the meaning from the sentence. So it is a dependent clause. Coming to the second sentence, Abhi has a beautiful bag which is made of leather. This is again a dependent clause. He has become obese. I think this is a independent clause, as we can make out complete meaning of it. After the movie gets over, dependent clause. We all rushed out of the class. It is an independent clause. If it is the only solution, I will surely accept it. I will surely accept it is a independent clause. Whether it rains or not, this is a dependent clause. I will write to you again whenever I have the time. Dependent clause. Answer all the questions that have been listed here. Again a dependent clause. He gave all the money. This is a independent clause, as it can make a complete sense. Next exercise, let us listen. Listen carefully and write who the phrases given below refer to, Rajat or the dog. Now here we can see a picture. A dog is sitting lonely over there, and mostly this dog belongs to Rajat. So some sentences are given and we have to make out the context, as in whatever phrase or clause is given, we have to write in front of the empty space, in the empty space, whether this sentence belongs to Rajat or the dog. So first is lives on the streets. Students, write over there dog, because dogs live on the street. On his way to school. So human beings go to school. So Rajat will come in the second sentence, in front of the second sentence. Unable to move. Right, dog over there. A young school boy, Rajat. Lying in pain, dog. Keeps in his pocket, Rajat. Arrange some milk, Rajat. Looked after very well, Rajat. Lift the dog, Rajat. Visits the dog, Rajat. So this was a very simple exercise where we just had to understand the meanings of the words, and we had to make out whether those phrases or clauses those belong to Rajat or the dog. Coming to the next page, that is page number 10, exercise called watch out. Now here, phrases which express time occur after the main verb. So now we have seen the verb, the main verb, and here it is told that phrases which express time, whenever in a sentence some mention of the time is there, then those kind of phrases, they come after the main verb. Now let us see, two sentences are given. Among that, the first one is the incorrect one and the second sentence is the correct one. The team last month won the match. Instead of saying it like this, we would say the team won the match last month. Yes. The camp was early in the morning set up. The camp was set up early in the morning. So this point you will mark it as a star and you will remember, so that you can have some tip while constructing the sentences. Let us speak. Work in pairs and complete the dialogue by adding the missing clauses. Then role play the dialogue in front of the class. We will simply complete this exercise in the notebook, as we are facing distance right now. We are not going to school, so we will simply complete this exercise in the notebook. So students, for this exercise, I hope you have tried to complete it, but I will just tell you the sentences, what I think, and those who have not written it, those can simply copy it and read it again and again 2-3 times. How to solve such kind of exercises? First of all, we have to read the complete thing what is given. In the first sentence, you can see some sentence said by the customer, second is by the shopkeeper, again the customer, again the shopkeeper. So it is a conversation between a customer and a shopkeeper. And if you will read the conversation with the blanks, then you will come to know that some customer is trying to buy a washing machine. So putting this scene in front of your eyes, you have to build that conversation. So let us begin. The customer is saying, hello, are you speaking from Gizmos and Gadgets? So this sentence is going on a telephone, first of all. Shopkeeper, yes, how may I help you? Customer, I want to buy a washing machine that washes and dries clothes as well. Shopkeeper, certainly, I have a washing machine that can wash and dry clothes as well. Customer, I am also looking for a washing machine with a plastic tub. Shopkeeper, sorry, our washing machines are such that has a steel tub. Customer says, does the machine have temperature control for heating water? Yes, we do have washing machines that have a built-in heater. Customer, could I visit your shop to look at the models? Shopkeeper says, sorry, we are out of stock right now, or we are not displaying our stock right now. In the next exercise, let us write, a passage is given, read the passage, then write main clause or subordinate clause in the space provided against each. So first of all, read the passage on your own, and then I'll directly go to the exercise. When I was 11. So this is a subordinate clause. My teacher at school announced, again a subordinate clause, that we were going to the top of the hill to have a picnic, subordinate clause. At the top of the hill, subordinate clause. Who is a hermit is the main clause. How fascinating, again a main clause. I had never seen a hermit before. This is a main clause. I became very excited. Again a main clause. I had never been atop a hill before. This is again a main clause. I hope you have understood main and subordinate clauses now. Now in the exercise B on page number 11, there is an exercise that you have to expand the story you just read and write a letter to a friend about a similar experience that you have had. So herein two activities are expected from you students, that you have to expand this story. You have to add more sentences and write the same story in more words and sentences. And then such kind of one more incidents wherein you went somewhere, you went for a trip, or you saw something over there, same experience, such kind of experience, similar experience you have to write in your own language to your friend in the form of a letter. So first of all, expand this story, one activity. Second activity, you have to find out another incidents in your own life and narrate it to your friend in a letter. For the activity in the box, you have to do this on your own, though it is suggested that you should do it in pairs. Again, as you are at home, you will do it alone. Directly go to the example. The robot plays with me. So what you will do is, similarly you have to make 5 or 10 more sentences, and then you have to do it as a homework. So lot of homework in this whole video. Complete all your work and send it to me. I hope you have understood the whole lesson now.